Now this may take a little while to run. Now that the installation process was successful, or call it succeeded, you click close. Now you can see here in your roles installed, along with your Active Directory domain services, your DNS server, you also have your DHCP server, and it will also be in your start menu, administrative tools now, and there you can see it. So now you can see the DHC server on the server and on the domain, and you will click the IPv4. There will tell you your scope, which is active, and your server options. Here you have your address pool, your address leases, your reservations, and your scope options. Now if you needed to reserve an address, you could, in the run command, click OK, and you could id config /all, and there will tell you all the addresses, that is the physical addresses. This is also called the MAC address. When it is you have the VM and we're changing the net adapters, the network adapters, it also came up there as a MAC address. This simply tells you the physical location, what if it's auto configuration enabled, and the addresses. So if you want to reserve a specific IP address for, say, a printer, that configuration is not to be changed. Every time that printer logs on, see, it says the network adapter. That's where you can also see a MAC address. So every time the printer logs on or is activated or accessed, that IP address is automatically reserved for that particular machine. Your address leasing is if you need to give out addresses, and your address pool simply means the range in which you had put your IP addresses. And this is a service running on a server, so that every time an IP address is needed, your DHCP server will be able to give out the IP addresses to even portable machines or portable devices as well. Now I'm going to simulate how to lease an address to a client. You would have to click on Start, Administrative Tools, and DHCP. When it comes up, if you double click on the server name, when you double click on IPv4, you'll see the scope as we talked about earlier, and server options. Click on the plus sign, and here you'll see the address pool, address leases, reservations, and scope options. If you was to double click on address pool, here you will see the start IP addresses and the end IP addresses. This is the range in which you will be giving out the IP addresses. Now you see I have no reservations. If I wanted to keep a particular IP address, say for a printer, separate, and it'll always be for that printer only, I could use the reservation here, and they're telling you you can add a new reservation by clicking the action menu and click new reservation. But what I really want to talk about is the address list. So now you see they have no items to show, but I'd have to go to my client machine, right click on my network icon, click open network connections, right click on local area connection, click properties, click on the internet protocol TCP IP, click properties, and here I would change the obtain an IP address from using the static address. Remember, we use the static address to link the machine to the domain, but here we want to get an address from the DHCP server, And to do that, you need to click the radio button that says obtain an IP address automatically. So therefore, this client machine would receive this IP address from the DHCP server. Click OK, click close. Now when I started, I pinged the server, and the server received and sent 4 packets each. But what will happen now if I ping the server again? Now let's say 4 was sent, 0 was received because the destination host is unreachable. Because of the XP home edition factor, it couldn't connect to the domain. So I can't fully show you exactly how to do it, but that's just a general idea. And then back here, according to a classmate of mine, hit the refresh button, and whatever IP address the DHCP server would have given to the client would show up here, and the person's name and the lease expiration type and so forth.